The world amazed me when I came to know your existence. Who you are and what you deserve is a constant love's persistence. I wish nothing more than to be the one who loves you day and night, to cherish you and adore you, and to feel your magic so bright. You are my other half, part of me I've been missing.
Now, the wedding video that I just played for you guys was of this woman right here. Who is she? She's one of the most famous adult entertainers to have ever existed, Riley Reid. There was a bunch of you guys that commented in my last video that she is now married. So I wanted to do a formal investigation. But before we get into those clips, let me play this one just to remind you as she recounts her consequences for the choices that she has made.
I don't talk to my mom now anymore. I've tried to reach out to her. I'm not allowed to go visit my dad anymore because my stepmom doesn't like that I do. But then he told me that when I was like, can we like go get coffee and like we could go like get breakfast, and he's like, I don't want to be seen in public with you. And that just fucking hurt so bad, and it sucks.
Now, if you remember the video that I just played at the wedding, go back and rewatch it. She's walking herself down the aisle. Her father is not present. It doesn't even look like her entire family is present. Let's keep watching.
I lost my family. I don't talk to like my brothers or sisters. I've lost my whole family and it sucks. So a lot of times when people ask me if they should do porn, I tell them no. I tell them that it makes life really hard. It makes dating really hard. It makes your family life really hard. It makes intimacy hard. You're putting yourself out there and the world is now judging you. You have to be okay with being shamed every day of your life. I don't even want to have children because I do porn, because I'm worried of the way that people will treat my child. The fact that these are things that I think about because the people are so fucking shitty suck.
The first thing that I thought about after rewatching this particular video is, who is the guy that chose to marry this lovely young lady that has chosen a lifestyle and a path so horrid that her entire family denounces her? So let's take a look.
How did you guys meet?
Instagram.
Right. You slid in her DMs?
She did. She slid in mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Saying what?
It was pretty great. Actually, I posted about this book, Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So she's like, oh, it's a nice book. So yeah, and then we talk a little bit, and I ask her if she wants to film some videos. I'm like, I don't know, I'll flip over her or wherever, I don't know.
Right.
And then we kind of talked for a little bit, and then we didn't talk for 3 months. And then she messaged me again. She's like, so you down to do this video or whatever? I was like,
and you were already in LA at this time?
Yeah, I was in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was in LA. I'm like, oh, sure, let's film this video. But I didn't know like with who to go and like who's gonna film the video. And she's like, I have my assistant, we can film the video. I'm like, cool. So I went and filmed like one of the videos with her where I like did like a backflip of her butt.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I remember that, yeah.
So essentially this guy got picked up like a chick. She did the DM slide, she did the pursuing. Even after 3 months, re-slid back in that DM. He had no direction on how to do the video. Oh no, I got it all figured out. I got my production assistant. Very masculine things that she was doing. But she was responding to his feminine, so it makes sense. But I guess as one of the biggest corn stars in the industries, you gotta do what you gotta do when the men that you want don't want you. Now, as I play more of this interview, keep your ears open. And I'm gonna explain to you guys why this is one of the most cringiest interviews I have ever seen. Pay attention.
Yeah.
And so you guys just hit it off right away or what?
Yeah, kind of felt the energy, and I don't know, she's the greatest woman I ever met.
Really?
I love her. Yeah, she's so good.
What stands out to you about her? She is a very great person.
Just her personality and like the way she thinks about life and who she is. Just, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know all the stigma that she does, like she did.
Right.
But if you really like just put it aside, and it's amazing, you know. Even with that, just a part of her.
Right.
Yeah, whatever people say, it just doesn't really matter. Like at first, I was like kind of like, oh shit, it's a lot. Like a lot of people just came at me like, what are you doing? You stupid. Like,
right.
Why you care about that? Like, I don't know.
For sure.
So here's the context. Adam 22 is also an adult actor. And guess who he's done scenes with? This man has sufficiently pummeled the already sufficiently conquered and used insides of his now future wife, but now he is sitting across the table from him, explaining to him how, once he put all of the stigma aside, she's actually a very nice girl. Adam 22 is fake listening and pretending like he gives a shit. Why this very eclectic and soft-spoken young man has chosen to do this interview is completely beyond me.
Have you had any like people that you know or like friends of yours like give you a hard time about it? Like, because I don't know. I could imagine that some
He's
people,
got no words.
some people just talk shit, and some people might actually be upset.
Like maybe 2 of my friends said something, unfollowed me.
Really?
That's
Wow,
about
that's wild.
That's about it. Like nothing crazy. Everyone I know and everyone I respect and people with the skills, they never said anything.
Right.
They just like, you happy? My mom asked, you happy?
Yeah.
You know, because I prepared like my mom as well. Like said, look, this is what can happen. People can come to you. People can fucking pull up the videos and shit. Like you gotta be ready. I just gotta prepare. Like, a lot of like dumb people.
Right.
And she never cared. She's like, she seems like a nice girl. She met her in person. It's not like she just does it all the time. Like people assume she just goes around and have sex with people.
This is what happens when you normalize 2 young men watching porn in society, because if you think about it, you're watching another man plow perhaps the girl of your dreams. So essentially, you are normalizing that on top of the already weakened, feminized men of society today equals what you're seeing right here. First, it starts out by going out in the public and seeing scantily clad women, and then that transitions into liking scantily clad women up on their Instagrams, and then that would transition to perhaps paying for their OnlyFans, to then you trying to wife them, and then inevitably this.
I wouldn't be Riley Reid and successful if I didn't shoot hundreds of those fucking shitty scenes, or
Right.
like, you know, the scenes where I get or whatever.
But I'm
Like,
saying now.
it wasn't until my career started to pop off in the department that that was where his like super mega insecurities in our relationship started to get on the rocks and stuff.
Really?
Because it was like, it was now starting to affect like our at-home life, because like, you know, when you're doing you can't eat certain foods or do certain things.
So
or
it's like
whatever.
reminding him of the reality of your job too much?
Yes, because like when I'm just regular working, it's like, oh, what do you want for dinner? Well, whatever the fuck. And then when it's like I have a special meal scene, he's like, oh, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, oh, like I just have to have this, this, and this, because like, and so it was like things like that were triggering, because it was like when she's not eating normal, that means she has the next day. And
You got to think of the psyche of a young man that chooses to ignore everything that she does for work and somehow thinks of it as normal up until the point where they're sitting down for dinner, and based off of the dinner, it now forces him to engage with the idea of what his girlfriend is doing. But they shame men for wanting multiple women, but when women engage in this type of behavior, they call it sexually liberated and living free.
it just was emotionally draining and exhausting.
There's
and
something about it might not be rational, but like, yeah, I feel like I would feel differently. If my girl shot with other guys, I feel like the thing would feel different to me in my mind.
Maybe, but like I ended up quitting doing for him, and so
Wow.
like that was the one choice that I did, and I think that that was already a mistake, because I
Yay.
gave
Giving
him
up
power.
control.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
gave him power, and so then then he was like, well, will you just quit doing boy girl and like all this stuff, and he wanted me to quit my job and everything, and I was like, okay, well then can I move in with you, because like how am I gonna fucking pay my rent?
Well, and this is
shit?
pre OnlyFans too,
Yeah,
right?
pre OnlyFans.
Because your whole career's change has kind of like been because of OnlyFans a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, now I have like more of like a steady residual income, where before it was like I go on set and I get paid, you know, as a freelance, so it's like a one-time payment.
Is it weird for you now because you're in mom mode? Does it feel like you don't want to be the one doing like the new Jake Paul prank YouTube video, or does some of that stuff seem like it's just got to be part of the past for you?
Certain things, like, yeah, I mean, I think certain things out of like respect of my relationship with my husband and my family, there are certain things that I will and won't do. So it's like they actually invited me to go do that, like the the Tinder video with Logan and KSI, but I was like, to me, that's just not appropriate to be doing. As
It's
like
weird
a married
because
woman.
it would just be fake. Like
Yeah,
honestly,
it'd be
you could
so fake.
because
Or I
half
would-
the girls have boyfriends on that shit. Let's be real,
Yeah.
and are like not down to fuck anybody else, but they just go there, they play the role of the slut, and then they
Exactly.
yeah.
And like if I'm playing the role of the slut, then I don't want to like say things that like would, you know, degrade my husband or something like that, you know? So it's like I respect him and everything like that. So I'm not going to say or do YouTube videos or these like dating things and being like, "Oh, I would swipe on you if I wasn't married."
She respects her husband now because he saved her, right? We saw the video in the beginning of how her life was turning out prior to getting married. But she DM slide and pursued a sucker, pursued a simp, because that was her final shot. Now, she didn't respect her boyfriend, who was obviously a low-value man, to think that he's going to move in with her after she changed certain things about what she's allowing herself to do. But her inability to respect her previous boyfriend, who, you know, I don't know if that gentleman deserves respect for allowing this to happen. Nevertheless, but her inability is more than likely tied to that she wasn't near the wall, thinking about her consequences of her decisions and her actions, or thinking about the family that had denounced her.
You know, like to me, that's kind of like a stab at my husband, even though
Yeah.
it's like me being Riley Reid. I don't want to like, there are fine lines now.
So although Mrs. Reed happened to find a guy to ignore her past, it doesn't negate the choices that most young ladies should be making in their life to increase the likelihood of success. And with that being said, I'm gonna read a quote directly from her. She said, "I have never had a boyfriend who was proud of my job. I've had 2 normal boyfriends in my life, normal being that they don't do corn, both of which ended in an ultimatum, corn or them. I've always chose corn. I've struggled with that choice, though, wondering if I made the right decision." Whatever. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. What you guys think about the collection of clips here today, all right? Sometimes I like to get down in there and do a look into history, a look into the past, to give you guys a more formal or a more accurate assessment of the things that are happening with our world in today, so that you can more than likely make better decisions into your future. Until next time, YouTube, peace.